I'd like to present to you Norm Schleehahn and Glen Norton of Hamilton Economic Development.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Keenan. And as you heard Keenan say, the slide presentation we just ran for you really only represents a snapshot of projects that have either recently completed or are underway right now in our city. Whether it's on the waterfront, in our 6 downtowns, or in one of our industrial parks, Hamilton continues to perform extremely well, both in retaining our businesses and in attracting new ones. Do you know that we are averaging 300 new jobs in our downtown core being created every year? That number is rising, and we'll have for you our results of our summer survey in the fall. We'll soon have over 2,000 new condominium, rental, or apartment units in the downtown. And this is coming from a starting base of almost 0 just 3 years ago. A very exciting time for us. Last night, many of you were at the launch of the Royal Connaught, and that was a great emotional moment for many of you, and many of us. It certainly was for me as well. Within the next year, McMaster will open its health center at Bay and Main and its continuing education campus at the corner of James North and King, what we used to know as the BMO Pavilion. We are very excited to have both of these projects by McMaster in our downtown, and we only see more good things coming out of our relationships and partnerships with our higher education institutions. The number and quality of new restaurants in our downtown and new retailers continues to grow. This reflects our stronger economy, and you heard from Keenan a little earlier about how our economy is getting stronger, and it also reflects the confidence of our wage earners.
From an industrial perspective, the projects that you witnessed in the presentation before represent thousands of new jobs and retained jobs to the City of Hamilton, not to mention millions of dollars in new tax revenue to the city. Our industrial vacancy rate is currently sitting at about 2%. And what that means is that people are not only investing in greenfield settings here within the city, but they're also taking advantage of the existing buildings that are in our older established areas of the city. And in one case, with the old Studebaker plant, we're actually seeing a greenfield on a brownfield. So that's a great example of a new development moving forward. And these investments are a large part of the reason why the City of Hamilton has been averaging over $1 billion in building permits over the last 4 years, which is a remarkable accomplishment. And I can tell you, this trend looks like it may continue into the future. If you look at the first 4 months of 2014, we're at $376 million at the end of April. And that's only $3 million off of our record year of 1.5 of 2012. So as we move forward, let's see how things go. So this continuing momentum is great, and we should all be mindful that the results are only possible when we all work together in the same direction. We are thankful to have the strong public and private partners within this room and within our community that really do believe in and support the ambitious city.
No economic summit would be complete if we didn't let you in on a few new announcements. And these are announcements that we're pleased to make on behalf of the owners and the project sponsors, and they have agreed to let us announce them for them today. So first of all, in the downtown, Synergy Developments have just finalized their design on a mixed-use heritage redevelopment project at 31 King William Street, just steps away from the Lister Block. Many of you will remember that building and know it as the Framing Gallery, that was what it's called. Been sitting for quite a few years. So what you're going to see there is 4 levels of redevelopment. On the ground floor, a restaurant, above that, office space, and above that, high-end residential in 2-story lofts in the top floor. On the ground floor will be a restaurant that it's going to be called Berkeley North, a California-inspired modern vegetarian restaurant, and it will be opening this fall. The owners tell me that Berkeley North will redefine the experience of casual dining in Hamilton while meeting the demand for healthy, sustainably produced cuisine. An announcement that isn't what you might think is economic development, but it does say how we're looking for a complete city and how important our culture is to us. Following up on its commitment to the downtown, when the AGH established the Design Annex on James Street North, they showed a new way of operating, a new way of sustainability, moving out of their footprint. Now they're happy to announce that they're redeveloping the bistro within the AGH, and it will in fact open within a couple of weeks. Even more exciting is that the AGH has curated an exhibition that will be drawing widespread international acclaim called The Still Lifes of Paul Cézanne, showing works by Cézanne from collections around the world, many works which have never been seen in decades. The show opens in Philadelphia next week, and organizations like the New York Times and CBS will attend the press launch, with the Art Gallery of Hamilton, of course, being recognized front and center. A great example of a cultural export from Hamilton. And by the way, don't worry, the show will be coming here, opening at the Art Gallery in November of this year. And then finally on Monday, Christian Home Care will break ground on a 6-story, 47-unit affordable apartment building for people with disabilities. This project at the corner of Main and Kenilworth will be the first in Hamilton that you can actually watch it go up from home. They're having a video camera installed on the roof of the building across the street, and so from when the first shovel hits the ground to when it's complete, you can tune in at any time and watch the construction. Oh, and by the way, the people at Christian Home Care would like to let you know that tonight they will make an immediate announcement. They will be rebranding, so watch your media tomorrow to find out the new name and new brand for Christian Home Care.
And I've got a couple of very, very recent announcements. Just this week, Janko Steel, a Stony Creek Steel Service Center that specializes in flat-rolled steel products, got conditional approval from the City of Hamilton, site plan approval to go ahead with a 10,000 square foot expansion on their operations in Stony Creek. And I'm going to read this off the printer or off the prompter because it's very difficult to say and memorize. It is for a state-of-the-art cut-to-length line with stretch leveler technology for steel coils. So it's
Well done, Norm.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the teleprompter. Anyway, Janko Steel is this is a great business retention example, and I dealt with Janko Steel back in 1997-98 when they initially had their first operation, and I had more hair. And you know what? They're a great example. They've expanded. This is their 4th expansion. They went from 50,000 to 150,000 to now they're up to 210,000 square feet. They employ a lot of employees, and they're a great corporate citizen in the city of Stony Creek. So congratulations to Janko Steel and their recent announcement. And in fact, as we were backstage on the break, I literally got a call from the project manager down there, and he's just submitted for his building permit now that he has conditional site plan approval, so we're going to get them through the process real fast. And lastly, Miller Dickinson & Blay, which is one of Canada's leading economic development consulting firms, have just literally moved in last Friday into a high-profile location onto the South Service Road in Stony Creek. They've almost doubled their office capacity from 2,000 to 3,600 square feet. And they're at about 8 to 10 employees, which is 3 times as much as they had many years ago. They're a national firm. They're renowned across North America for their economic development consulting. In fact, they had a hand in developing or crafting our economic development strategy. So some really nice announcements, both on the downtown and in some of our industrial parks.